We're on our way to Michigan. We always fly to Chicago, then drive to the small town. The scenery's the same all the way through. Grass, trees, and power lines. Always lots and lots of power lines. It's a good reminder of how far away you truly are traveling from the big cities and city life, and a reminder of the quiet scenery of life unlike your own. When you get to my grandmother's house, everything's the same as when I left it. The cat greets you at the front door, and the swing that my cousins and I used to sing songs on still stands lonely because time has rotted its woods and its safety isn't to be gambled with. You look out to see the acres and acres of grapes and forgotten farming equipment, and the overgrown weeds around the edges. Out here, you truly realize how silent and alone you are, and just take in the beauty of it all. Forgotten toys stand against the house, waiting for new kids to play with them. Everything's the same as when I left, just a little more worn, a little more dirty, and every time I'm here, it seems a little more like it's in the middle of nowhere. I love the quiet reminder that life continues moving, whether you are there to go with it or not. The front door of the house, or what I've always thought should be the front door, is overgrown with weeds. The door barely opens, the steps are just covered with grass, which once again just reminds me of how long I've been gone. This house is on a farm, and when I think of farms, I think of a barn. The one here is faded and chipping, still has its Christmas decorations up, and is filled with old, broken, forgotten junk. But it's still my grandmother's house, and the memories I have from here will never leave. The kitchen's just the same as when I left. Everything has its place, and everything's in its place. And there's a chair that my grandmother always sits in. No one else sits there, just her. It's weird to think of how much meaning one chair can have. Last year my grandfather passed away, and this was his chair. I know it's just a chair like any other, but I always question whether I can sit in it, and half expect every time I do that I will have to get up so that he can sit in it. Here I'm reminded of how short life is. The oxygen is what keeps us breathing and what we need to live. For the first time I showed up to see a green tube that my grandmother wears to help her keep breathing. It's a harsh reminder that we get older, that time doesn't stop for any of us. Pictures on the wall show me life before I was born, faded with time, and show people who I think I know but are completely different. It's only been a week, but once again I have to go drive back to Chicago, fly back to Austin, go back to my home. As I'm leaving, I remember that when I come back, everything will be the same, but different than when I left it. Maybe there'll be a new coat of paint, or the paint will be chipping more. There's a place where I can escape from reality and just enjoy my family. I'm ready to go home, and I can't wait to come back.